My experience with this BMW 530i, basically the VANOS, I took them out, I cleaned them, and what I found was that in the middle of the diagnosis, I'm looking at the technical service bulletins and everything, and what I found was that the filter housing did not have its cartridge, the cartridge holder, thus making the VANOS turn on. I'll show you guys a technical service bulletin later. This is a technical service bulletin for this type of problems. You can see here, intake VANOS, sand door, blah blah blah. So the other one I didn't print out, this one I did. Yeah, I'm going to explain the other one first. The other one, what it said was, when you're looking at the VANOS solenoids, check the ohmage resistances. They should be between 8 and 14 ohms. Another thing was the swap them, meaning interchange them. Make sure that you have one VANOS problem following the other. You know what I mean? So if the exhaust is giving you a problem and not the intake, we'll swap the exhaust with the intake. And now you should have a problem in the intake and not the exhaust. That stuff. Yeah. So replace them, swap the VANOS, and then see if the problem follows the bad VANOS. But in my case, the VANOS still say the same. The two codes came up, or one of the codes came up, and I'm looking at the data, and you guys saw the data already. One of my solenoids was at negative 115. The other one was at 80. That one was working intermittently. It would work, and all of a sudden it would just go in blank at 120. It would just stop at 120. So I'm looking up another. So I'm just on my ProDemand app, and I'm just scrolling through every bulletin talking about the same problem here with the VANOS, right? So all of a sudden this one came up. And then, voila, this problem came up. Now, what does this guy cause here? So, it says here that the VANOS fault can be caused by insufficient oil pressure supply from the inlet VANOS adjustment unit to effectively blah, 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 blah. So, it says here that a mechanical restriction or electrical failure of the VANOS solenoid and or electrical circuit can cause insufficient oil supply to the VANOS assembly as well. If completed tests are inconclusive, proceed to step 2. This is step 2 right here. Now, it says here clearly, the oil filter cap insert may be inadvertently removed during vehicle's last oil service. If the insert is not installed, it will result in non-filtered engine oil being supplied to the engine, thus possibly clogging and damaging the VANOS solenoids. So, when I took off the cap off this car, you guys obviously saw it did not have this guy in there. So, I told the guy, hey, buy a new housing cap, call me later. When you buy it, you call me. I'll install it, and we'll keep on testing it. Hopefully this will be the problem and the result of it. And the fix. So, we keep going. Yeah. So we'll keep going here, and you can see here, it says here, replace both VANOS solenoids, change engine oil and filter, reset the service data only when applicable. So yeah, it can get pretty rusty for the guy because somebody did a bad job. Somewhere, somehow, he got cheap. Something happened, in a sense, he got cheap in the sense, instead of sending this to a BMW dealership, or at least a BMW knowing a European technician. Like, I'm not a European technician, I'm an all-around guy, but I know European cars. I'm not a certified BMW car fixer, but I understand them, I deal with them, I fix them, and I deal with the legit stuff for these cars, and for any car. ProDemand. They call it the mechanic's Bible. This is where we go to diagnose everything and deal with everything. In a general sense, I do use this a lot. I do check oil specs, everything with the system. But yeah, I don't want to make this video too long. So, yeah, I found that this guy was the issue. I didn't find this insert. So, yep. Part 2 will be coming soon. So, get ready, guys. That's what's up. So there's the filter with no insert in it. I'm going to change the oil on it, obviously. 5W30 European Performance for the BMW. You got some data. You got negative 115 and 82. That was sort of working in and out. Then you got the codes. So this is the result when you don't have your insert in your filter. This problem. And just remember, my fellow mechanics, don't trash that insert. Leave it inside the housing.